So if I asked you, what is the most popular anime you can think of? You'd probably respond with either One Piece, Fullmetal Alchemist, or even Sword Art Online. Naming the most popular anime can be a bit difficult. Anime only tends to stay popular for as long as it's airing, and the only anime that's been airing for the last 20 or so years is One Piece. The only problem with One Piece is that it's insanely long, and the casual scrub isn't going to start something they probably won't live to see the end of. Those of you who have been watching anime for as long as I have probably know what the most popular anime is. So go ahead and head over to my anime list, and at the very top you will be greeted with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood claiming that #1 spot, and for good reason. Most of us older fans started watching anime when we were able to access the internet. Some when we were in our middle school, and the rest of us during high school. 2000 to 2010 was the foundation of anime and what started the craze over these strange Chinese cartoons in the first place. 10 years ago I was 23 I think, and I remember being able to watch anime on YouTube, and a couple of anime like I remember watching were like Rosario Vampire, Aria the Scarlet Ammo, and the absolute banger, Angel Beats. I strongly believe that Angel Beats is the most popular and well-known anime of all time. But, as always, my little lost lambs, your shepherd is here to guide you to the truth. Before we start, if you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified whenever I post more horrible content. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Angel Beats is a 13-episode anime about a group of teens in a suspended state, a sort of purgatory or limbo kind of thing you could say. The characters in this world have all died, and for different reasons, they refuse to pass on. The story begins with a teenage boy named Yuzuru Otonashi, who arrives in the afterlife, which is in the form of a high school because, it's anime, it's gotta be a high school. He has no recollection of his life prior to dying, and he meets with this group called the Afterlife Battlefront, or the SSS, the Shinda Sekai Sensen, created and led by Yuri Nakamura, a group set on rebelling against God's will, and according to Yuri, simple attendance is enough to make you vanish. While most of the students are empty but lifelike NPCs, the school's student representative is a girl with white hair, known only as Angel. Otonashi's first meeting with her ends in him getting a blade right through his heart, causing him to side with Yuri, which confused me because he literally said, "Prove that I can't die," and she did just that. As Otonashi becomes more familiar with the world and the people in it, he learns, as does the audience, the tragic stories of their lives and the causes of their death. This is where I believe that Angel Beats hooks the audience. I say this because it's where it hooked me. The first instance of sadness is when my angel Iwasawa disappeared. We tend to relate to characters based on their situation compared to our own, and Iwasawa dealt with parents who constantly fought, and it didn't help that her father was an alcoholic. She would often hide in her room, curling up and covering her ears to block out the noise of the arguments, and in this moment, the emotion starts to hit you. We begin to understand and relate more to her character. Her escape came in the form of music, being able to express these emotions with her singing, and it pains me to this day that she wasn't able to pursue her dream of singing. In life, she would later collapse at work due to a cerebral stroke. What was the cause of this? Head trauma she had suffered while trying to stop a fight between her parents. In her last moments in the afterlife, she did what she loved the most. She sung her last song. Up until this point, we have been told that there's a possibility of being obliterated, but we never knew how it worked. Accepting their old life and achieving what they wished for in their previous life. Just like how Iwasawa had been saved by music, her dream was to save others with her music. Up until that moment, Angel Beats had presented itself as this school comedy. None of us could have been prepared for this sad moment. All of these characters that we had grown to love so much, how can we just come to terms that they would just disappear? That's what I think makes Angel Beats so special. It wasn't just some anime just trying to kill main characters off for the shock value. We all knew that at some point, it would be time for them to move on, and we didn't want to say goodbye, but it was for the best. The more we learned about each character's backstory and cause of death, the more we came to love each and every one of them. The amount of pain that these youths all died with is substantial and extremely valid. It's a small wonder why all of these youths may have needed more time just to deal with and process their life. Otonashi is in many ways the best of the youthful souls. His story is also riddled with tragedy, but he kind of ended things on a good note. I mean, as good as, dying is. He already he already found peace in his final moments. He dedicated himself to helping others, to doing well for others, and that carried off into the afterlife as well. It's fair to say that he gets the lion's share of the credit for helping everyone else, all of his friends, and even some acquaintances move on. The one complaint I have about the plot is that I wanted more. We all wanted more. There are only 13 episodes, and there's just so much I still wanted to know. Angel Beats has this rather large cast and not everyone got their backstory explained. It pains me that they don't get their proper screen time, but Angel Beats suffers from not having enough episodes to properly flesh everything out. The ending did seem a bit rushed, but it is what it is. Endings are never easy to do, so I'll give it a pass. In the ending song of the anime, we can see all the characters line up together, and the one thing I really like about it is that whenever a character had passed on, they would also disappear from the portrait. This detail was really eye-catching and really makes you emotionally attached while watching it. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know. I'm like, it's not funny, but it might just be like the nostalgia making me laugh. I don't know. Completely off script. In the end, only 5 of them remain and they decide to find peace and move on. Those final moments left me with such sadness. We had grown so much with these characters. Was it really time to say goodbye? Sadly, it was their time, and it was for the better. Although it saddened me to see them go, they all left fulfilled and with a smile on their face. Aside from the characters, Angel Beats has an amazing soundtrack. The jumps from funny to sad are done amazingly, and I know I already killed most of the plot, but if you haven't watched Angel Beats, 1, what the hell have you been doing for the last 10 years? And 2, you owe it to yourself to join others in crying your heart out. I thoroughly enjoyed Angel Beats. The unique combination of a serious story and laugh-out-loud comedy has been pulled off wonderfully. Not all of the characters got the proper spotlight they deserve, but I'm willing to overlook that because this anime made me a better man. It taught me that I should be grateful for the life that I have, and not just sit idly and accept whatever fate this world has thrown at me. And this is where real men cry.